Really quick, everybody. This entire video will be timestamped, so if you don't want to watch something and just jump straight into a different topic, please check the pinned comment or check the little red bar right down below you. Again, this entire video will be timestamped, and I'd appreciate you guys watching whatever part that you'd like to. And if you're sticking around, everybody, hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to another video of Talk at Clen. This is a series on the channel where I ask you guys to jump into the Discord server, and again, if you're new here, pinned comment, description down below, feel free to join, and I ask you guys to give me an opinion on something, tell me something, talk at Clen. Usually we talk about Fortnite and gaming, but of course we can talk about anything at all. With that being said, let's jump straight into the first one for today. I really hope one day we get an ancient Egyptian season. I'm surprised Epic hasn't done one already, considering I've seen lots of people and content creators ask for one. I'm also surprised we haven't seen a Japanese mythology and anime style season, considering how successful the anime collaborations have been so far. I completely agree with both of you. Both things that you just said there used to, like, I've been asking for an Egyptian season for a very long time, and honestly, I wouldn't mind an anime season. I'd be very interested in that, and you're right, like, it's so popular. I wouldn't be surprised if Epic Games ended up doing it one day. I'm not necessarily surprised that they haven't done it yet. It's just, like, it is popular and it would make a lot of sense for it to really come to the game, especially Egyptian. That's what I wanted forever, man. Moving on, iTalk just started uploading videos again, and I'm personally really enjoying them. I'm enjoying him too, man. I'm really happy for him. He really seems like he's back on the grind. He made a big video. He was talking about he was enjoying Fortnite, he was enjoying Chapter 4, he was enjoying the YouTube experience. Again, I've talked about that at great lengths on the channel, so I'm not going to expand too much on it. Regardless, I'm very happy for the guy, and I'm still, like, over the moon that the guy joined my stream, man. That's absolutely crazy. He said hi. Like, it was awesome. I love that guy. I'm glad that he's really enjoying the content creation stream there. I hope he continues. Also, I'll say one more thing before we get into the next one, guys. If you're wondering, my voice is a little bit low. My girl's sleeping in the other room, so that's why I'm trying to keep it on the lower tone of voices here. Anyways, I have one last theory about Save the World, and that's the theory that some of the BR storyline came from the scrapped and unfinished storyline of Save the World. For those of you who don't know, the ending of Save the World is really the intro to the game, excuse me. And through a comment I saw about Save the World was released, and the next step of Save the World storyline was researching caves and stuff, and finding out that Kevin the Cube had much more of an influence over the world, as we see cubic energy affecting caves and stuff, along with, weirdly enough, a mission of having you pick up glowing coconut to hear weird cube audio. Needless to say, I think that some of Save the World's cancelled story mode made it into Battle Royale, which I can actually see happening, by the way, and I'm even willing to bet that the whole cube storyline, along with the last reality stuff, came from Save the World's unfinished story. I know that there really isn't any evidence to support my claims, but then again, I'm basing this off the theory of the fact that Kevin and the Storm King were originally shown in Save the World before they were intertwined with BR's storyline. As mentioned, this is a theory with some pretty bold speculation, but I think nonetheless some of BR's story is influenced and made through the unfinished works of Save the World story, as it seems we're going to spend more time in Save the World exploring the cube, but then again, with Save the World storyline seemingly being over, it looks as if we'll look into the BR for answers as to what happened in Save the World storyline. I can actually see that happening. I actually never really thought about Epic Games continuing the stuff that they scrapped in Save the World and making it into BR, because they need more storyline for it. Why wouldn't you use some of the ideas that you already have? Honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Moving on, I think they should continue this battle pass layout, an original tier 100 collab secret skin, and one more collab as tier 23, because I haven't seen a tier 100 get this much hype since Midas, and the pass is overall very well received, even on Twitter. Yeah, it's really nice to see, especially like the tier 100 skin. Everybody seems to like Geno. Interesting that you mentioned, though, that you like the collabs in the battle pass. I don't hear that a lot, but you're right, everybody does seem to like this battle pass a lot. So, you know what, I'm not upset that the collabs in the battle pass, because again, I do like the battle pass as well. It's just, I would still rather have them out, but I wouldn't mind if they continued. Yeah, you make a good point. I really hope the storyline ramps up soon. I want to see what Geno does, if Midas is returning, if the Nothing is going to be the big bad that is going to close off this chapter, like the Cube Queen and the Herald, who the Rift Warden is in a mysterious voice. Is the chapter going to end with the Everything versus the Nothing? The Everything being the 0 point, but in human form. Yeah, I hope it ends up soon. It looks like we're already starting. This was posted a little while ago. We now know what the Rift Warden is. We now know what's going to happen with the Rift Grade. At least, like, we have some speculation on it, which is really cool. I have a good feeling about this story, but yeah, I do want to see, most importantly, I want to see if Midas is going to return. They teased him so much, man, for them not to bring him back, so hopefully we see it throughout the chapter. Wild theory here, but a while back, like around the end of Chapter 3, Season 2, I had theorized with another storyline content creator known as Clark Kent. I love that guy. He's awesome. I've been watching his content a lot, actually, recently. I've seen him on TikTok. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. Anyways, let's not talk about the possibility of there being a being who created the 0 point. Now, as I said, this is a crazy theory, but we mainly came up with it through the knowledge that the 0 point couldn't have caused itself to commence the Big Bang, and it certainly could have been the Nothing, since it desires all life and became an empty void once more. So, we decided to question if it's possible from the 0 point was forged to make all kinds of life and make an omniverse through the course of power of an unknown infinite being. Of course, I know what most people won't agree with this bonkers theory, but if you think about it, if there was a being who existed in the void with the Nothing, you would think that they desire life on how lonely it would be stuck in a void with nothing, so they'd most likely go out of their way to bring life upon said void, which would be the case of the 0 point. Of course, this being a character would be like the one above all, basically Marvel's god. I didn't even know Marvel had a god. I'm not too familiar with that, so regardless, again, I'm going off topic. I apologize, guys. In the end, this was just a wild and wacky theory based off of curiosity, but if the nothing existed before the 0 point, then maybe, just maybe, another being could have existed too who wanted life, valued life versus the nothing, who seeks all of life to be wiped out for the simple terms of going back to darkness. I still kind of like the idea of the nothing being the black hole and the 0 point being the everything with the zero skin. So I could see them being characters. It's just I don't know if we're actually going to get there. But then again, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because I see points on both sides. You know what I mean? I like the idea of the nothing and the 0 point being a being. And I don't know how I would explain how the 0 point's a big ball. But still, there's too much to question right now. It's a really good theory, though, honestly. I think that in the future, when more augments will come out, they will act like a weapon loot pool and will snitch between each other in rotation per season. So basically, augment vaulting and unvaulting. I also think the leaked augments are part of next season's rotation. Actually, it's a good point. I can see them doing that, unvaulting and vaulting augments. I never thought of that. So you're probably right. That's probably what they're going to do, honestly. I just thought about this, but it probably doesn't mean anything. The IO Patrol NPCs are a bit more robotic, and the Ghost Henchmen have a very least robotic hands, or maybe they are robots. So I'm thinking maybe, as Midas left the IO, he took some prototypes of the patrol units and reskinned them so nobody wouldn't know. Yeah, you're right, it probably doesn't mean anything, but you never know, they could tell the story. I want to see like a comic about Midas or something because that makes a lot of sense. Let's move on again. Epic needs to stop vaulting fun. The Shockwave Hammer nerf wasn't needed at all. I really hope this doesn't continue as a chapter keeps going. Well, they've been greatly, I'm happy for it. They've been adding weapons and items that are really fun and adding to the game, but yeah, it's tough to say. I made a whole video talking about the Shockwave Hammer nerf. Long story short, I think it shouldn't have been nerfed, but it was a lot in endgames. I don't know. I see the points on both sides, but I agree with you in the most part. Epic does need to stop vaulting fun. That's the best part about Fortnite is the crazy, ridiculous stuff. Moving on about Sonic Prime. Interesting. I think being annoyed by the voice actor changes is a valid reason for not liking Sonic Prime. Did I say that, or are you just saying that? Because I know I've talked about Sonic Prime a lot in the streams. Regardless, it's not necessarily that I'm annoyed by it. It's just like I can't get used to it. You know what I mean? It's taking me out of the show a little bit. That makes sense. So I just grew up with the great voices, and they were so perfect for the show, man. Why'd they have to change them? Moving on again. I recon when 2.0 supposedly releases on the 31st, hopefully. Epic will release 2.0 with an open world RPG or RTS game mode made in Creative 2.0, which would be the image that was leaked back in Chapter Season 7 hints towards. This could also be the secret mode that Epic hinted towards us getting when they announced that Imposters was being vaulted while they work on 2.0 more, as well as while they were working on another big mode in the background. This would also make sense as the characters shown in the image are all holding medieval weapons. Oh! And we are currently in a medieval themed season right now. I never thought of that. That last part, like I was agreeing with you the whole way through, but I never really thought about that last part. You never know, man. That could happen. I'm still waiting to see that mode too. It never left my mind. I've been thinking about it. I really hope that Epic will live up to the dark seas with the 7 being in a fate darker than the worst imaginable, and not just go with Sonic Force's route where they say Sonic has been tortured by Eggman for 6 months, but we see him, he's totally fine and just jokes around. Yes, unfortunately, Mark, I can see them just not being that bad, especially how the storyline's been gone so far. But then again, if you go the comic route, people have actually been dying and you see blood in the comics. So I hope to God you're right, or like at least I hope the same thing as you, but I'm not so sure that's gonna happen. I want to see something real dark. I want to see some death with the scientists, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. This may seem strange, but at one point last year, there was a Roblox game that somehow had the Chapter 1 Season 3 map. The game had every single detail, which was really cool. Really, I didn't know that. Huh, I need to look into that one. That's pretty cool. And that's something we're going to be able to do in Creative 2.0. They're going to be able to play Chapter 1 Season 3 again. It's going to be crazy. I feel like when we see the 7 again, it's going to be the giant Crow abomination. And when Amy goes to rescue him, he's going to be like, join us, Amy. And she's going to say, that's not the scientist. I know. I can see that happening. I can really see that happening. The scientist isn't going to be the same, and Amy's going to freak out, and then it's probably going to be an annoying voice because Amy has an annoying voice. Oh man, that's actually like the direction they can take this story is crazy. They have so much potential. I'm excited to see what happens. You know that all the Fortnite names are named with Greek gods, right? Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Asteria. Amy is the reason. Okay, I did know that, but why is Amy the reason? I actually have no idea. Nitros, if you could expand on that in the comments, or if anybody else in the comments knows, I actually don't know why Amy was the reason, but I did know the Greek gods were names of the maps. Huh, let me know. In my opinion, Chapter 3 was the worst chapter ever. Only Season 1 was good. Hey, you know what? Everybody likes different things, right? It's hard to say that Chapter 3 Season 1 sucked, though, because that was an amazing season. But I agree with you that it was the worst chapter. It had the worst season ever, in my opinion, which was Chapter 3 Season 3. However, I did really enjoy Chapter 3 Season 1, Season 2, and Season 4. Season 4 had its ups and downs, but still, I overall enjoyed it. But you know what? I can't complain with you. It was the worst chapter. While Fortnite themed Lego sets would be cool, I believe in having a mini Fortnite minifigure with blind bag series would work better, since there's a bunch of random skins that would be great to see as figures. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. I don't have too much to add about that one. I think that would work very well for a Lego set. Fortnite should have an anime collab every season now. Like we were talking about earlier in the video, it would be so successful, especially with all the popular anime shows out there, right? I think I'd like to see it. I think a lot of other people would like to see it, and I would like to see more mythics like the Kamehameha. That would be hilarious. I'd love that. Not even like in a funny, like the whole crossover type thing. I would just really like it. Okay, here's an interesting one. An idea on how to prove Star Wars sequels. Episode 7 introduces Mara Jade, shows how she and Luke met, shows newly trained Jedi Order. It would also show political problems and Snoke manipulating Ben. Episode 8, Ben joins Snoke. Snoke reveals himself and the First Order, because especially, yeah, you know what? I would like to see more with Snoke too. He wants to become the main political force, so the senator of the First Order tries to get multiple planets to leave the New Republic and join the First Order. Meanwhile, we explore Snoke's backstory again, like I said, which I would really like to see, and see him train Kylo Ren. The movie would end with an attack on Luke's temple. Episode 9, Luke and Mara save most of the Jedi from the temple ruins. They all go to Coruscant where they'll be safe. Anakin guides Luke to kill Snoke, just like he ended Palpatine. Luke and Mara track down Ben and Snoke as they fight on Mortis. They eventually win, but Kylo Ren is killed in the battle. I'd go more into detail, but it would be way too long. But the idea of a new Jedi trained to be Grey Jedi, and Snoke isn't a Sith, but he uses dark side differently. Basically a different ideology, so it doesn't mess with the Chosen One prophecy. Actually, I'd actually like to see that. Like, it's a really good layout. I don't have too much. I feel bad for like talking about these Talk at Clen videos sometimes, guys, because you guys say something and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is sick. Yeah, I like that layout for a new sequel. My theories on where Jones and Paradigm are. In after the event screen, we see a person in a couch who can only be seen of a leg, which matches with the Jones Unchained skin. So the legend is probably just stuck in one of the floating island masses outside the loop and is waiting for the 0 point to pull it in. As for Paradigm, what if she managed to seal herself inside the 0 point like the Foundation did in the Zero Crisis event to stabilize reality, and the reason it was risky at this time is because she didn't have the portal device to steal off the 0 point properly, thus endangering herself greatly. Mark, those are fantastic theories, especially the one with Jones. He's probably just on the outskirts somewhere. Paradigm's a little bit reaching, but I can still see it happening, but Jones is probably actually what's happening. Looks like we got another one of Jones here. Epic should have continued the simple Jones story with him leaving the IO. It didn't need to get as complicated as it is. Now, I understand what you mean, but before I agree with you, I'd have to see where the Chapter 4 story flushes out, or like how they continue it along. So hold that thought. But I agree with you, they wouldn't have gone wrong if they continued just the Jones story with the IO. I'd like that. I really like that instead of making the Deku Smash weaker, Epic made the shield to be able to counter it too, and I think this is how fun item nerfs should be like. I completely agree again. I completely agree. You've been having so many W's in this video, Mark. Yeah, I like it. I figured out recently the Guardian Shield blocks on Mythics, which is really cool, and it's nice to have an actual counter to that, kind of like the Junkers were supposed to be with the mechs, except this actually works. I like it, and I agree with you. I completely agree with you. This is how nerfs should do. Maybe like you could have something instead of nerfing the hammer, something that like auto aims people out of the air, but then again, that's just a thought. I know that wouldn't work too well, especially with gliding, right? But you get what I'm trying to say. But guys, with that being said, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for participating in the video. I apologize again that my tone of voice is a little bit low. I'm recording this at night, the night before, and my girl is sleeping, so I wanted to keep the voice at a lower volume. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again, guys. If you are new here, join the Discord. Help us make videos like these in the future. If you're new here and enjoy the content, please consider hitting like button to help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you're brand new. Check the description down below for links to all of my other channels, as well as link to Real Ember on Fiverr, who will take care of all of your YouTube thumbnail needs. Remember, guys, he did this thumbnail, he can do yours. Check out Real Ember, he'll take care of you. If you want to be a channel member, you can skip the July and they'll play live streams with us. We'd love to have you. We'd love to play with you. And also, we have giveaways at the end of the month. Lastly, if you'd like to use my support creator code in the item shop, it is code CLEN, hashtag anime, hashtag epic partner. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.